It's 17:06 GMT. This is Bola Mosuro with Focus on Africa from the BBC World Service. Coming up, a Nigerian father who's developed a teaching method that has helped all 5 of his children get into Oxford University. He says he can help children develop the same learning techniques, particularly in maths. To Focus on Africa on the BBC World Service. Now, students in many parts of the world are preparing to start their next academic year in September. For many 16 to 17-year-olds, they may be embarking on higher school certificates, A-levels, for instance, or the International Baccalaureate. But imagine being a primary school child between the age of, say, 7 and 13, taking these exams and passing well. Well, it's a massive feat that has been achieved by students of the Excellence in Education Academy, run by Professor Chris Amafidon. All 5 of his children achieved outstanding marks in their O-levels and A-level exams while still in primary school, and they've gone on to university. Well, Chris Imafidon has passed these skills down to other children, particularly in the area of East London, where he lives. He's a trained ophthalmologist who emigrated to London from Nigeria. And he joined me in the studio with 2 of his young students who've just passed Maths GCSE. It's 9-year-old Francis and 13-year-old Deborah. She began by telling me how the professor helped them master maths.
I found it something not hard like what other people around my age might expect it to be, but I just saw it as a subject which I can enjoy.
People say practice makes perfect, and if you can apply that to maths, you can really see it as a game.
Okay. So, Professor, you taught them well. They've got the answers down pat for a start. But what is the Excellence in Education methodology? How do you convince 9-year-olds like Francis or 13-year-olds like Deborah that maths is a game?
It's showing them. I wish I had a mouse here. I would have clicked on online and pulled up Manga High and said, okay, you have a robot moving across and the second robot coming and the third robot coming, and they ask you how many robots do you have. You just type in 3 and hit 3, and then it says, wow, good. And then you say, okay, we have mummies coming from this side, 2 and 4 coming from that side. How many do you now have? So that's an addition game. Then you can have a subtraction game, and you can have a multiplication game. See, anything we do over and over again becomes easy for us. Anything. It's just pattern recognition and following the numbers. But if you bring it to the classroom and write it down in pen and paper, then people are, I'm afraid of maths.
But here we have Francis and Deborah. What did you use in order to spike their interest? You know, you have equations, you have algebra. Yeah. How do you break those down so that youngsters can understand it?
Oh, easy. Come with a bowl of fruits. Have bananas, have apples, have oranges, and say count the number of fruits. So you count 2 A's, apples, plus 2 B's, banana, and then oranges. So you're just sorting things out. And for him, because he supports Tottenham, he has to follow the...
Oh dear, I support Arsenal.
Bad rivalry. and he knows that for the football, it's a game of numbers. We have a league table. There's a match on Saturday. If your team plays and wins, what position will they be on the league table? That's a technically mathematical exercise. You say X unknown. If you win, X becomes 3 points. If you lose, X becomes 0. If you draw, X becomes 1. But he's still thinking football. But he's using mathematical equation to work out 2 or 3 unknowns and say, okay, we'll be third on the league table.
Deborah, when Professor Imafidon first came to you and your parents, how old were you?
I was 10 years old.
So just 3 years ago. How was it when the professor first gave you his formulas and algebra? Was it easy for you to understand?
It was easy for me to understand because Dr. Chris used real-life problems and real-life scenarios. It helped me understand.
So what kind of scenarios made sense? If you're not a Tottenham fan like Francis, for instance, what kind of things brought maths alive for you?
Because I like this TV programme called The Next Step.
Okay. It's a dance programme, isn't it? Yeah, my daughter watches it.
If one of the dancers leave, how many dancers will be left? What will happen if they lose or if they win a game? So it's it brings things which I enjoy in life to help me understand mathematics.
Can you now use it for other subjects?
I'm interested in astronomy because, astronomy, what is the distance from Earth to Sun is in miles and miles or in conversions. Miles, you can convert to kilometers, which is just maths. You can see that astronomy is also like maths.
You have a family of child prodigies, is it? 4 or 5 children you
Five
have?
children.
5 children. Is this something that is a passion for you to encourage other future geniuses too? Are we going to see Francis and Deborah also going to Oxford and Cambridge before they hit 15 or something?
Absolutely. Yeah, I make a decision. Either you keep it in the family, in which case you exclude everybody, or you share it in the community and build a community of boys and girls that will grow up to be confident young men and women, develop and contribute to our society. Because quite honestly, I'm tired of hearing negative news about our community, our boys and girls. If you can build confidence, whether they become engineers or mathematicians or doctors or astronauts, doesn't really matter. But the fact that the talent in them is discovered and developed.
Is it, though, that Deborah and Francis, as examples of the children who are in your school, I know you have many others, is it that they are innately brilliant and you've just brought out the brilliance in them, the genius in them? Or can you, nurture this talent in so many
If
other...
you give me anybody on the planet Earth, every single human being has in them deposits of talents. What I'm interested in is exploring and finding that talent so that it can be developed. So every single child that you've ever seen at the age of 4 is a genius. It's only when we are unable to either identify that genius or develop that genius, or our society suppresses that genius for one reason or the other. That's when they now become, failures. Nobody has ever created a failure.
Can this, your model, can it be used in other parts of the world and also for other years? Are there children who maybe are 15 who are in, Lagos or, Lusaka or Lilongwe? Can you also nurture that talent in them?
We have parents right now that are from all over Africa that have gone to our website, the excellenceineducation.org.uk website, that have emailed us, and we just send them video clip, we send them links, and they've seen dramatic improvement in the lives and performance of their children. Before they said, no, you're a girl, don't do maths, or you should do literature. Those are gender stereotypes that have no foundations whatsoever in fact. If you're a girl and you cook, I can tell you clearly you're a chemist. Because for you to mix one solution and catalyze it with heat, of course you're a chemist. If you're a woman and you have to budget for home, you're a mathematician. If not, you run at a loss. So if we break the barriers and say, look, there are no gender preferences in abilities, let every girl hearing me know that inside her there's a mathematician. Everybody is on a learning journey. The only time you stop learning is when you have a death certificate.
I have a dream.
What is your dream?
Well, I actually want to be an astronaut.
Ooh, okay, fantastic. And you, Deborah?
I want to be a gynecologist because the feeling of helping people is really good.
Deborah and Francis, they're two of the students of Dr. Chris Imafidon, who's passed on math skills and other skills to those children and other successful students in his Excellence in Education programme.